Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jonita and I am a graphic designer. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different from last time. Last time, if you were here, I did create a brand identity for Glossy. That's what it was, and a lot of people on my Instagram really liked it. So if you want to check it out, definitely do check out the video and go give me some love on Instagram if you haven't already. But yes, like I said, today I am doing something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be talking about an interesting story time. I was gonna create another YouTube video with me recreating something else, but I got super duper busy. I've had client calls and I just onboarded another client recently, so I didn't have the time to do that. But I am definitely going to do a YouTube video with me doing like a full brand identity and brand strategy next video, so definitely do stay tuned for that. But today we are going to be talking about a story time, and that story time is about a horror. I don't know how to say horror. You know, like scary, like a bad. Anyways, my horror client story or horror. Okay, client horror story. I think that's how you say it. It sounds like I'm saying horror, but no, horror. Like, you know, like, ah. I'm going to be talking about the time when I had a really bad client. I've had a couple, but this story time honestly is not that bad compared to one story time that I have. But I'm currently still dealing with that situation and trying to get my money because Shorty owes me some money. This one is pretty crazy too, but this client really made me learn things and really was the precedent for me setting boundaries and just never again. But before we hop into this story time and you like my personality so far, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, okay? Because like I said, we be lit over here. But let us get started. So this was when I first started my graphic design career or my graphic design business. You know, I was super excited, and at the time I was just taking on anybody as a client. I had actually previously had already finished with one client and they were amazing. Love them. Like, they were super professional. They let me do what I wanted to do. They trust my expertise. It wasn't a whole bunch of back and forth. And at the end of this video, I'm definitely going to talk about some lessons that I learned and now what I require of my clients. And just, if you're another graphic designer here that's subscribed to me, also what you could learn from this situation too. So I had just finished this client, amazing, loved working with them. And so I got a DM from this person. We're going to call them Michael. So Michael had basically sent me a DM and was like, hey, I really love your work. I would love to work with you. So I'm over here feeling excited because this is my second client in a span of 2 months. Like, I'm over here on fire. I'm thinking, oh, period to my business, whatever. So I'm like, thank you so much for that. And he was like, well, I've been looking for a graphic designer. I would love to work with you. And I'm like, oh, amazing. I'm like, okay, well, let me send you my website and you can go on my website and book through me. And yeah, it'll be cool. So honestly, I didn't think that he was going to book, to be honest with you, because I've had a couple of potential clients DM me like, oh, I love your work, blah, blah, blah. Then when you send them your website because they're talking about how they want to work with you, as soon as they get on your website, it's like, they're like, oh, like they kind of just, it's like, well, then why did you DM me in the first place saying you wanted to work with me? But that's a whole nother story for another day. Like, I can't stand when potential clients do that, but that's besides the point. So he went on my website and he went ahead and booked a discovery call. And I was, like I said, I was really shocked. I'm like feeling myself like, okay, this is my second client. I've only been in business for 2 months now, or it might have been a month at the time, I don't remember, but I've only been in business for 2 months now, and this is my second client. Love it, love that for me. So he went ahead and filled out the questionnaire that I had for my discovery call. He actually DM'd me and he was like, okay, I filled out the form. And I'm like, great, from this point forward, we're gonna communicate via email. Because when I had started this business, I knew a little bit about business, and I knew that it's always important to have things over email. It's super important to have things over email so that if stuff hits the fan, you have an email trail of stuff. So yeah, so I sent him an email and I was like, okay, so from this point forward, we're gonna be communicating via email. Also, what day would you like to book our discovery call? He was like, okay, Monday would work for me or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So I set boundaries. I was like, I'm gonna send you the Zoom information for our call. Please check your email, make sure that you're on it. And once I send it to you, that's it. And if you don't show up to our discovery call, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's it. So he was like, okay, cool. I was like, all right, so if you have any emergencies, please let me know ahead of time, because I'm not about to do this back and forth with you. I'm just not. So Sunday rolls around and I sent him the Zoom information. I'm trying to see how I can formulate this. I sent him an email and he didn't respond for Sunday. So I tried not to look too much into it, but normally you would think someone would be like, oh, well, let me confirm. Okay, cool, I got the email. See you Monday. Did he do that? No, he didn't. That was already the first red flag. So I was like, okay, maybe something came up. But I knew deep down inside he was not gonna show up. I already knew. Monday rolls around, I get on the Zoom call. I'm waiting on the call for 15 minutes. This man did not show. Get off the call. I'm like, all right, well, I told him that if you didn't let me know what was going on, that was it. We were done. So I get an email from him the very next day. Oh, I'm so sorry. My phone stopped working and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, your phone stopped working. Where's your computer at? Where's your computer at? Like, you ain't got no computer? And I'm not trying to judge, but if you're a designer, you know that the files that we send people are super big. You're gonna need a computer. And also, I send you PNG, SVG, AI, all those files. How are you going to access those files? All right, I was irritated, but he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I couldn't get to my phone. Something happened with my phone. I couldn't email you to let you know, blah, blah, blah. So what did my dumb self do? Gave him another chance, because I was just starting out at the time. And I was really just trying to get anybody I could. I wanted the experience, and I was like, okay, biggest mistake ever. But I gave him another chance. I'm like, all right, you get one more chance. And I said, this time I mean one more chance. Cool. So I sent him another email with another Zoom call. I'm like, this time, if you don't show up, that's it. And I really meant it. Like, I was not about to play that game with you. Like, don't play with me like that. I got the email. I'll see you tomorrow. So we get on the call. We're on the call. So he gets on. I'm like, okay. So then he tells me, can I put my brother on the call? So I'm like, why do you want to put your brother on the call? Oh yeah, because my brother is in this with me. So I want him to, because he knows what he wants. He does most of the talking. Chill. So I was like, okay. So the brother couldn't get on the call for some reason. Something was not working, whatever. So we decided to have the call, and I said, okay. So I just wanted to get a synopsis of him, see exactly where his head was at, and then talk about pricing. But then after we got off the call, I realized, I'm like, I need to get his brother on the call. I'm just not about to do this. I'm not about to do this back and forth. No. So we're gonna get your brother on the call. So the very next couple days, day later, whatever, I got his brother on the call. A little bit of synopsis of what they were doing. They were selling shirts. I don't want to give off too much information about what the name of it was. They were selling shirts, and the name of their brand was already just, I was like, okay, whatever. So I asked him, like, well, what does your brand stand for? Who are you trying to target? Well, basically, our brand is about a-hole vibes and not giving an F. All right. Now, I'm already not, like, I'm not feeling the project. That's not who I am. And plus, just their name of their brand was just not sitting well with me. Like, I was just like, that's just not what I stand for. Like, not giving a F and being an a-hole, like, that's not who I am. Like, me, I could care less about what people think about me. Like, I really could. And if they would have put it that way, like, just being you, being yourself, that's cool. But like, the way that they put it was basically like a bully. But what did Jonita's dumb self do? Worked with them. Now, at the time, I was starting out, so I was only doing one-off logos. That's how you know I was just starting. I was offering brand identity, but I was only doing one-off logos. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about one-off logos and why I don't recommend one-off logos. Now, for the designers that do it, that's completely their prerogative. I will never sit here and bash another designer and what they decide to do. But as far as me, girl, I learned my lesson. At the time, for a logo, I was only charging like $250. But for them, I charged them $300 for the logo and then $350 for the licensing fee, so that when they do go ahead and sell their shirts, I thought, well, I'll just get a percentage of that. Of what? $350, girl? Are you stupid? Sure. I did it anyway. So they signed the contract, whatever, cool. I do the mood board, and I'm emailing both of them because you guys are both in this together. I do the mood board and I sent it off for their approval. Like, okay, do you like this mood board that I constructed? Only the one brother that what did I call him? Michael? Did I call him Michael? Michael was responding. Now, the other brother that got on the call, let's call him Tyler. Tyler is not responding to any emails I send. Only Michael is saying something. But y'all both on this together, right? Okay. So Michael says, I like the vibes. You guys are probably thinking, well, what's wrong with why they're saying that? But in the end, it's all gonna connect together as to why some of the things they were saying was just very, yeah. But he was like, yeah, I like the vibes. Sent off the mood board, got it approved. Literally everything that that was in the mood board was approved. Remember that, it was approved. I go on to create the logo, and in their logo, I decide to incorporate a snake in there. Kinda, you know, because when you think of a snake, you think of like, you know. Yeah, I sent it off for their approval, and they said, well, we don't really like the snake in there. So I'm like, okay, I mean, that's fine. I completely understand. So they're like, well, how about this? Can you do it like this? So they send me a drawing. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, during the discovery call, Michael kept saying that he wanted it to look like Ghostbusters, like a Ghostbusters theme. And I told him, I said, you need your logo to be unique. You don't want to be out here copying other logos out here. You want to establish your own uniqueness. And I said, that's not going to work. And also, I wasn't about to do that. Like, at that point, I would have just put him off to somebody else. But once I was able to get him off that mindset, so I thought, to not do that, I thought we were cool. He sends me a drawing of what he wants, and I'm like, that's exactly what I told you not to do. Y'all, the logo was ugly. Like, literally what he sent me that he wanted me to do, so bad. I mean, if you're a graphic designer and you know of any design principles, you would cry if you saw it. And I want to be respectful to their brand or whatever and not really show what it was. But y'all, I'm just gonna say the abbreviations of their brand. It's NM. And the way I did the NM, it kind of like the N and M kind of connected. So like it was like N and then cut off and then the M connected to the M. So kind of have like that idea in your head. I might put it up on the screen somewhere. He wanted me to do the NM and then do the words that stood for NM underneath it in small text, put a circle and put a slash. I'm like, are you serious? So I sent him an email. I said, well, you know, you're more than welcome to do that. But as your designer who went to college and has 2 certificates in graphic design, I would not do that. So I told him, I said, it will not be legible. But I made it clear. I said, at the end of the day, it is your logo. You do what you want to do. But that logo will not be legible. That's what I told him. Okay, cool. Let me send you another drawing. Why he sent me the same daggone drawing, but just a little bit different? Child, I was like, I said, you're clearly not understanding what I'm saying. I just think that that's not gonna work. But again, it's completely your, if you want me to do that, I'll do it. But I'm telling you right now that it's not gonna work. He said, okay, can you give me a minute? Me and my brother, so me and my brother can talk so that we're not rushing this process. I said, okay, I'll give y'all a week. Again, keep in mind, his brother Tyler is not even contacting me. He's not saying nothing in these emails. He's dead silent. I literally gave them, like, I didn't even say I would give them a week. I actually said I'd give them 3 business days. It was the weekend. They had the whole weekend. Now run around, it's 3 business days. I'm like, hey fellas, can y'all please send me what y'all want? No response. So this time I decided to send an email basically saying, if you guys do not respond to me, I will be canceling the project. Because at this point, it has gone more than a week. I've given you a lot of time. I'm gonna need y'all to respond. And the thing about me, guys, I don't like to be this person because I can get there. It's no issue. Like, if I have to get there, we can get there. But I don't like to be like that. But now I'm starting to realize certain things. And again, I'll talk more about the lessons I learned in the end of this video. I don't like to be like that with people because me, I can get like real like and you won't like me. And the reason why people tend to try and play one off on me and try and get over me because I have a baby face, as you can tell. A lot of people have mistaken me for being 14, 15, 16. I'm not. I'm in my 20s. I can drink, buy a car, really do anything. I can even rent a car. And also, I'm so tiny. Look at me. I am 5 foot. I honestly think I'm 5'3", but I go by 5'2" only because I've done the scale and then it'll say 5'2", but then it'll say 5'3". That's besides the point. So people think they can get a one-off on me, and the same thing happened to my mom. Like, my mom looks really young. She's in her 40s, but she looks young. And when she was my age, the same thing happened to her. Like, people would tell me, people used to really talk to your mom crazy. My mom used to even get mistaken as my older sister, and I take that after her. Now I'm going through it, but I'm feisty. Like, I'm just not about to sit here and have you think you can do that to me. You're just not about to do that. So then he emails, oh, I'm so sorry, blah 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 blah. Okay, let me send you our idea. He's still not understanding what I'm saying, because he'll say, oh, okay, I get you. You need to be legible. Okay, cool. How about this? So I'm like, okay, he's not getting what I'm saying. Let's get on the Zoom call. So I said, okay, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. So let's get on the Zoom call and squash this, because I don't think he was understanding at all what I was saying. Now, keep in mind, we're emailing back and forth. It's a mess, child. I just look back at the way I used to do business. I don't even want to talk about it. I send the Zoom to both of them. Guess who only shows up? You guessed it, Michael. Taylor is nowhere to be found. I'm like, where is this dude? So we get in the call. I'm like, where's your brother? You know, I'm only getting on the call because sometimes he can talk to people real rough and he don't want it to come off as disrespectful. So then why did you do business with me? So I put up his example, what he wanted. And then I put up my example of what, I removed the snake and everything, but I put up my example of what will work better. And I put it in a mock-up. So I'm like, okay, here's your example, here's mine. So I said, can you see both of the logos well? He's like, yeah, I can see that. I said, okay, cool. I zoom out. Can you see it now? I can see my logo a little bit, but I can see yours much better. Oh, really? Okay, let me zoom out even more. Zooms out. Can you see your logo now? No. Can you see my logo? Yeah. But that's because I don't have 20/20 vision. A lot of people don't. I don't have 20/20 vision. I'm supposed to be wearing glasses. If y'all can see, I be all up in my computer like this, and I zoom in. Because I make sure I get every little piece of detail. A lot of people like me and like you do not have 20/20 vision. So that is why you cannot have that logo. Because let me tell you something. These people out here are not going to waste their time. If they can't see your logo on your business card, they're throwing it away. You have to think bigger. You have to think, I'm gonna be putting this on a business card. I'm gonna be putting this on merch. I'm gonna be putting this on a sign. I can't just have a logo that I can't see when I scale out. Because I told him, I said, you're gonna be spending a lot of money on printing costs. I said, you know, we don't have to go with my logo, but I recommend you just allow me to show you what would be best, and we go from there. But I made it clear, I said, but if you do not care, I'll do your logo. Let's be done. I give you a logo and we're done here. And in my head, I'm thinking, please, so I can be done with you, bro. Y'all have irritated me. Like, I'm like emotionally drained from this. And I already had other stuff going on. He was like, oh no, I get what you're saying. Let's go with your logo. I'm like, okay, cool. He said, but as far as the logo mark, I liked it. But then I showed my sister and she didn't like it. To look at the screen. The way I sat there and looked at the screen, I was like, I said, Michael, your sister is not your target audience. I said, be very careful asking your family if they like it or not. Because for several reasons, if you're a small business owner and you're working with a designer, please don't ask your family. Unless, and even then don't ask, but unless if they are your target audience, like there's a personality in your family and that's your target audience, go right ahead. But even then, don't ask your family. The reason why is because you have to understand, as a small business owner, even though these people were not investing thousands, but let's for the sake of this argument for now, when you're investing thousands into branding, sometimes your family won't understand that. They won't get it. They won't even be for it. They might tell you what you're doing is crazy. So if you showed them something, they might be like, nah, just for the simple fact of they feel like they don't understand, they don't get it. They're just like, you paid thousands of dollars for this? No. Also, you can have some haters in your family. And on top of that, your family does not understand design. They are not your target audience. Do not, if you're a small business owner, do not ask your family for advice on anything design related. They are not your target audience. Okay? Capiche? Caposh? Got it? Cool. I'm like, you need to be very careful asking your family that question. Why are you asking her? Oh, because she's into fashion? Fashion and graphic design is two completely different things. One is over here, one is over there. So he's like, yeah, but I appreciate you being honest with me. I took your email as a threat. I was telling him, like, well, I had to let you know that I got things to do, bro. Like, I got things to do. And I said, well, once you're done with this logo, I definitely do recommend that you invest in a brand designer. I wasn't talking about me, but I was like, somebody else. Like, I recommend you invest in a brand designer because the logo's not going to get you anywhere. And he's like, oh, yeah, but we'll think about that later. Red flag. I mean, there were so many red flags. The red flags were being thrown up in the air. Like, it was literally a flag on the plate. Yo, do you get some help? Let somebody get the rep. So then he goes on to say, once we're done with the logo, we're gonna go ahead and trademark it before you do. Why would I want to trademark your logo? I have no interest in trademarking your logo. You're safe. Your business, your logo, y'all are all safe. Then he said, yeah, and the reason why we chose you as a designer is because we knew that you'd be cool. Here's one thing I will say, and if you're uncomfortable with it and you don't like this, you can exit out the video. The people that I worked with were within my community. As y'all can see, I'm black. I'm a black woman. And sometimes what happens within my community, when they see another person that looks like them, they think that it gives them a pass to do certain things. Of course, not everybody, but some of them think, well, you're gonna understand because we're the same. You're gonna understand, you're gonna give me a discount because we're the same. It does not work like that. I don't know you from a can of paint. The only thing we share is the same skin color. Business is business at the end of the day. And when I heard that, it just put a lot of things into perspective for me. That right there literally made me change my perspective on how I need to run my business and who I need to be attracting. I will not work with somebody that has that mindset. Whether we're friends, whether we're both women, whether we're both black, whether whatever community we are a part of, even if you see me and you cause, oh, you're a woman or oh, you're whatever. No, this is business. And I felt really offended that he thought because we're in the same community, he gets a handout. It does not work like that. But I digress. Once I heard that, I was ready to be done with this project, to be honest with you. And I extended so much patience out to y'all. So at this point, I'm pretty much ready to be done. But he said, just create the logo that you had. So that logo is fine, keep it just like that. But change the logo mark because we don't really like the logo mark. I changed the logo mark. I changed the logo, do exactly what he says, send it for approval. I got an email basically saying, you know what? We're gonna go with another designer. Thank you for your time. Part of me was relieved, but part of me was also very angry because I'm like, you wasted my time. You must be out your rabbit. You wasted my time. So I said, you know what? I think that's best. Here's the final invoice. No response. They're not trying to pay that invoice. I tack on a late fee. You need to pay that late fee now. Are you serious? You're telling me we gotta pay this even though we don't like our logo, even though we add da-da-da-da-da? I said, Michael, I'm not about to go back and forth with you. I listed out everything from point A to point Z to what led up to this point. I was so upset and I was like, if you guys do not pay me, I will take you to court. But I ended up not taking them to court only because to try and go after them for $300, it makes no sense. I would win that case because they signed a contract and my contract states that what you pay is a retainer fee, and then after that, even if the project is canceled, you still have to pay me for my work completed. But I was not about to sit here and fight over that. Like, it wasn't worth it to me. It was $300, honestly. And after that point forward, I raised my prices dramatically because I did not deserve to go through that. During our Zoom call, he had said, oh, I get what you're saying now. I didn't know what you meant by legibility. I don't know what legibility means. Now, I'm not judging anybody, that doesn't know what legibility means. I understand that some people may not have adequate education, and that's completely okay. But me reflecting on that and looking back, not only did I think these boys were ignorant, I think that they were also highly uneducated on what design is. And their mindset was just, well, this is what we want it to look like. And just the people that were selling to are people within their community. And a lot of them have that same mindset about certain things that just don't mesh well in business. So from that point forward, I kind of was like, I need to redefine who my target audience is, who I want to work with. A lot of the times, like throughout when I was working with them, they would always DM me. And I'm like, yo, why are you DMing me? I told you from this point forward, we were going to be communicating via email. Did I not say that? I think I said that twice. And just the way they would communicate, there was a bunch of misspellings, a bunch of grammar checks. I'm not trying to discriminate against anybody, but I think that there's a certain mindset that comes with those who pay less. I was only charging these guys $600. And there's a certain mindset that comes with people that pay less. When you charge people less, you get that type of clientele. They have no structure in their sentences. And at the end of the day, it's not a disrespect because even as a designer myself, if I have a bunch of misspellings in my email or grammar checks, nobody's gonna wanna work with me. They're gonna think I'm not professional, I'm not legit. No, they're probably gonna think this is probably a scam. Because what happens with a lot of scammers? Do a lot of scammers not have their grammar be off? Okay, so I have to make sure I'm in check. With me now, I'm a completely different businesswoman tonight. I'm picky too. If your emails are not structured, and I'm not saying it has to be like, hello, I'm Queen Elizabeth III. Good day to you, sire. I'm here to work on a project, approximately 3 months. Like, no, I'm not saying you have to talk like that, but there's just a way of communication that lets me know that you're a high ticket client. And now my services are geared towards aiming high ticket clients, those that appreciate the work that I do. Lessons that I learned from this. I no longer offer one-off logos. I tend to notice with clients that want one-off logos, those are the ones that want to pay only $200, $300, probably even less. They think you're too expensive. They're just not your high ticket client. They're your low ticket clients that you don't want. Number 2, I outlines how much time you have to respond to feedback. So it's no more waiting around for your feedback. It outlines how much time you have. 3, now I don't give any more benefit of the doubts to people in business. Business is business. And I've instated so many things in my contract to now, if you don't respond, your stuff is going to be put on pause and you're going to owe me to restart the project. And I actually learned that from another client, but like I said, yeah. this is no offense to men, but men tend to really step over your boundaries. They think that they know what they're talking about. They think that they can just tell you whatever. They don't like your boundaries. They feel like they take it as a threat. And that's why now I target women. Women tend to listen to boundaries and understand. I'm not saying all of them do. And I'm only targeting high ticket clients. And my gut kept telling me throughout that discovery call, you know, get the clientele, get the experience, get the experience, get the experience. But it wasn't worth it. Another thing I was confused about was this man told me, he said, okay, cool, stay with your logo, just make these couple of tweaks, but change the logo mark, which I did. And it makes me think like, what were you on in our discovery calls? And this is why now in my calls, I record all my calls. Ain't nobody about to tell me I didn't say that. You know, you didn't say that. Nope, I record my calls. Because on that call, you literally said, do your logo, but make these couple of changes, which I did. And in the email, he tried to say, you're a scammer. You only wanted to do your logo. That's not true. I was trying to help you because that's my job as a graphic designer, to help you and to give you my expertise. What type of designer would I be to sit there and just let you create this bozo logo and then get just to get money? That's not the type of business owner I am. And I kept saying at the end of the day, this is your choice. But this is what I'm telling you. The only reason I had that call is because I felt like I'm like, he's not understanding. Because you keep saying, oh, okay, what about this one? What about this one? None of the logos were making, and it's like I was letting him take over the project. Now, stuff is completely different. My process is different. I have a project management system and it saves our messages so that if you say, I didn't say that screenshot. Yes, you did. Here you go. That's what you said. Don't lie. Don't lie. I let it go. And now, like, I'm just very picky with who I work with now, especially after the last experience I had with another client. I will get on a call, and if I feel like, no, I feel like you're not there. If I just see red flags dinging in my head, it's a no. It's a no for me, dog. I take control of my business. I was letting people pull me every which way. And of course, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what to do. If you decide, no, I don't want that logo, I want this logo, that is your business. That is your logo. Ain't got nothing to do with me. But as a graphic designer, it is my job to tell you what would work best for you. And they weren't understanding that. And my spiritual mom was telling me, she's like, I don't think they're arrogant. She said, I just think they're highly uneducated. And you just got with people who were just not educated. And to just think, oh, I would be cool because of my looks. It don't work like that, baby. That client, it was whatever. Did I ever get the money? No. It's $300. And like I said, back then, I was just taking on anybody because I wanted the experience. I was new. I just wanted to work with everybody. I was so excited. This is what I wanted to do and stuff like that. It's not the end of the world. I forgot about them ever since, and their business is still where it is. I think that Michael was not necessarily the problem. I think it was his brother. The brother was very much telling him what to do, and then he'd report back to me and it would get lost in translation. He even admitted himself, oh, I'm not really good at putting my words together. And I could tell it just led to a whole bunch of just issues to where I'm like, but you just said, and then it was like, no, I didn't say that. Yeah, you did say that. From now on, if there's two people together in a business, y'all both need to be present. I'm not doing this back and forth. Well, he said he doesn't like it. Or there needs to be one person and one person on the contract. I'm working with one person. Make it easy and direct it to somebody else. Because I can't do this. Well, she likes it, but I don't. And I like it and she doesn't. I'm not doing that. So if y'all both are going to be on this, both people need to be present at this meeting. If you can't be present at this meeting, we're not doing this. I always ask, is there somebody else with you on this project? Is there another business partner I need to be aware of? You know, about the comment I made about us both being in the same community, this was not to offend anybody with that comment, but as other designers who are also people of color or who are also part of certain communities, like I was talking to another designer and she said, yeah, girl, like I'm part of the Muslim community. And she said, I've had other Muslim people be like, oh, you're gonna hook me up because we're Muslim, right? It doesn't work like that. Business is business is business is business. I hold everybody to the same standard. At the end of the day, it was a mess. I learned my lesson. That's all for me today, guys. If you're a business owner, drop down below what experiences you've had with some customers or bad clients. Like, I would like to hear y'all stories and hear some crazy stuff, you know? I honestly have no hard feelings about the situation. Back then, ooh, I was so pissed. I was so mad, but now I don't even care. Like, I've moved on from the situation. I only talked about it because I wanted people to learn from my experience, and I just thought it was kind of funny. And I just reflect back on what I used to charge in my process. It was just, but now my process is way more organized. I have way more boundaries now to where I'm like, no. And like I was saying earlier, I don't like to be this person that's very, but you have to be. Like, I had to learn that in business, you have to be very like, yo, we're not doing this. Like, you have to be on your ish, because these people will play with you. Like, especially me being tiny and being a woman, like, especially if I'm working with men, they think they can get one off on me. And no, you can't. If you're gonna be like that, the door is right there. Yeah, like I said, that's all for me today. By the time I post this YouTube video, my McDonald's rebrand will be up. But definitely go ahead over there. Let me know what you think about that McDonald's rebrand. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I think I've been doing a pretty good job keeping up with YouTube videos. I've been a little late sometimes, but I'm busy. I'm a busy woman. Got clients, got things to do. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. For those who have family in Hawaii, my condolences to y'all. So sorry about that. I give my condolences and my prayers to everybody in Hawaii. But I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Stay creative, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.